Living in a passive house is kind of like wrapping yourself in your favorite sweater. It's warmer, more comfortable, and just feels good. A passive house is more cozy, quiet, and energy efficient than any conventional new home. In fact, by using some specific design principles, your new passive house can cut your energy costs by over 70%. That means you'll be dramatically reducing your carbon footprint and your energy bill. Inside a passive house is a super quiet environment, keeping those noisy winter storms outside while you and your family are safe and sound on the inside. So, what's the secret sauce of passive house design? The basic principles are quite simple. Like the sweater on your body, insulation is very important in a home. Did you know the amount of insulation in a passive house is 2 to 3 times higher than a conventional new home? We call that super insulation. We also watch for heat loss from something called thermal bridges. Thermal bridges occur where different materials meet, like where the roof joins the walls. In a passive house, these thermal bridges get extra attention. They're covered with insulation to stop heat from escaping to the outside, which eliminates cold spots in your home. Thermal bridges are kind of like the gap between your mittens and your sweater on a cold winter's day. Tuck your sweater into your mittens, and you're good to go. Next, we make it airtight, kind of like putting a windbreaker over your sweater. Did you know that 50% of heat loss in a standard home comes from air leakage? Air leakage is also the source of many moisture issues in conventional homes. Moisture equals mold, and you don't want that in your house. Next, the windows are designed to capture free heat from the sun. That's part of why it's called a passive house. In the warm summer months, shading and large opening windows help with cooling. Because of the extra attention to the shell of the building, a passive house needs a simple, less expensive heating system. You need a hot water heater and an air exchanger for fresh air, just like any new home. But there is no need for central heating. That means there is no furnace required. This is the other passive part. In fact, a well-designed passive house can be heated on the coldest night of the year using a heater the size of 1 or 2 hair dryers. Or you can invite your friends over to bake cookies and heat your home at the same time. So, what does all this efficiency and attention to detail mean? It means we can build a super efficient home that uses far less energy than any conventionally built home. It also means that a passive house is far more comfortable and quiet than any other home you can build. If you're interested in building a passive house, it's best to work with an expert who understands building science principles and the physics needed to make everything work together.